It's 2007, you're 20, 30 years old and you're looking for something to replace your beat-up Nissan Sunny. You pass by the Nissan dealership and you see the Qashqai. And this is the third generation of the car which started the crossover trend. The Nissan Qashqai concept was first displayed at the 2004 Geneva Motor Show. That was back in the days you could still surprise someone with a concept that nobody has seen leaked on the internet a couple of weeks prior. At the end of 2006, the Qashqai went into production. I recall a static presentation here in Warsaw back in the spring of 2007 and the attempts of Nissan product team to explain to the media what is a crossover and how is it different from a regular hatchback or an off-roader. Since then, more than 3 million Qashqais were sold in Europe and in total about 5 million roamed the world. Meanwhile, crossovers became the next big thing in the compact segment and they're becoming increasingly popular also on the supermini turf. Today in Europe, the Qashqai has 26 direct competitors. The new Qashqai is clearly a very important car for Nissan. It has to take on the popular Tiguan. As far as dimensions are concerned, the Qashqai slots between the VW Tiguan and the smaller Skoda Karoq. The third generation Qashqai is 4,425 mm long. That's 35 mm longer than the second generation. Its wheelbase is 20 mm longer, reaching 2,665 mm, and the width is up by 32 mm to 1,835. The new Qashqai is also 25 mm higher than the previous generation, and it comes at 1,625 mm. As it is the trend nowadays, the new Qashqai gets an oversized grille with the Nissan V shape. The headlights are boomerang shaped with a bit of plastic trim in the middle which says Qashqai. The side air intakes are real and go into the wheel arches. I suppose they improve aerodynamics because I don't think the Qashqai needs additional brake cooling. There is a shoulder line along the side of the car, starting at the headlights and going up to the rear lamps. There is also a strong accent at the bottom of the door. The rear resembles Lexus SUV design language with sharp vertical lines going from under the tail lamps to the bumper. For the first time, the Qashqai tailgate is made of composite materials which helped save 2.5 kilograms. More such savings were made throughout the car. We'll talk about them later. This is the first drive, but I managed to steal one test car from the launch event for the whole day to tell you as much as I can about it. And we'll start with the boot, which, depending on the spec, has between 436 and 507 liters. This is the Tecna Plus top spec with the smallest boot, and not just because of the mini spare and the Bose audio system subwoofer. Keep on watching and I'll tell you why this has the smallest boot. There is a double floor which can split like that and act as a divider. There are shopping bag hooks and a 12-volt socket. You can remove the parcel shelf and it will fit under the double floor. Also, thanks to the double floor, once you fold the seats, you get a flat loading area. The tailgate is electric. It's an option on mid-spec, and the two higher specs have it as standard. You can just close the tailgate or lock the entire car, or you can use your foot, and it beeps. A lot of beeping, too much beeping in fact. The back seat splits 60-40 and there is no ski hatch behind the armrest. The backrest position is not adjustable. The doors cover the sills, so you don't have to worry about getting your legs dirty. There's good legroom and headroom in the back. The headroom is good partly thanks to the reclined backrests. There are cup holders in the armrest. Also, the door pockets are large. There are air vents as well as USB-A and USB-C ports. In the front, you get more than a 12-inch virtual instrument cluster, and then there is the 9-inch infotainment display with sat-nav, both standard from mid-spec up. Again, there is a USB-C and a USB-A and a 12-volt socket down here, somewhere, sorry, the 12-volt socket is here. And there is an induction phone charger, which is on the small side, so check if your phone fits during a test drive. Storage under the armrest is average size, and so is the glove box. But the cup holders are fine, and the door pockets are huge. The start button is down here next to the phone cubby, and I can never find it. Above it are knobs and buttons for the AC, and higher up are the buttons and knobs for the infotainment and the radio, and they're physical buttons and knobs. Keep it up, Nissan. The infotainment is an evolution of Nissan's current system. There are more remote services, very few of which are actually useful. As long as there is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you're golden. New features include massage. Yes, the top trim models get massage seats. This model gets heated seats and heated steering wheel. Perhaps I won't need it today, but come autumn, and I don't want a car without it. Nissan also kept physical buttons on the steering wheel, making it easy to interact with the virtual instrument cluster. There are 2 data presentation modes, standard with an imitation of analog gauges, and a sort of 3D one which resembles that in the Peugeot 3008. The new Qashqai can have a large head-up display, like this test car does. On the almost 11-inch display, you get sat-nav directions, information from driver aids, as well as road sign reminders. Unfortunately, Google Maps directions from Android Auto are not displayed on the head-up display, and they also do not appear in the virtual instrument cluster. That's a shame. The new generation ProPilot driver aids adapt the speed to the vehicle in front. The Qashqai can now also stop in traffic and get moving again within 3 seconds from stopping. Thanks to the information from a camera located here, the car can maintain the position in the middle of the lane. The system can also adjust the speed depending on the speed limit or slow down before a tight bend or the motorway exit. That's if you have the sat-nav set, a destination set in the sat-nav. The blind spot monitoring system can now actively prevent you from cutting in front of someone. There is also a system warning you about objects along the side of the vehicle, as well as cross-traffic alert system, which will stop the car in case when you're reversing into something or someone. The new Qashqai uses more high-strength steel, which allowed for a safer chassis. At the same time, some elements like the doors, fenders and bonnet have been replaced with aluminum, which helped save 21 kilograms versus the previous generation. The CMFC platform has been redesigned to better transmit impact in case of an accident. At the same time, the structure is 60 kilograms lighter and 41% stiffer. The McPherson struts have been updated as well. The front-wheel drive Qashqai with up to 19-inch rims has a twist beam suspension, but models with 20-inch rims get independent rear suspension like this Tecna Plus car. And this is why the boot is slightly smaller than in the lesser variants. All this impacts efficiency and handling, but before we get there, let's talk the engine range. Perhaps range is too big of a word because there is only a 1.3-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine, 140 or 158 horsepower front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The manual transmission cars get 240 or 260 Nm respectively, while the Xtronic CVT has 270 Nm. Regardless of the power output, Nissan uses a 12-volt mild hybrid to improve fuel economy and boost performance. The Xtronic models can even coast with the engine turned off. Nissan promises average fuel economy of 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. After a few hours of driving and filming, I got around 10 liters. The 0 to 100 kilometers acceleration for this test car should be 9.2 seconds. I checked and I got 11 in sport mode, 13 in normal mode with me and one passenger on board. I doubt losing the passenger would help shave 2 seconds, especially as I felt the car was struggling at launch. Handling is average like in most cars these days. The Qashqai is not particularly engaging to drive. The steering is very light around the center position and it doesn't load up even when taking a sharp turn, like on a roundabout. I don't know if it's the 20-inch rims or the general suspension characteristic in the new Qashqai, but the front suspension could use better damping, like those hydraulic bump stops you get on the Citroën C4. The Xtronic doesn't feel like CVT, which is a good thing. The engine feels punchy, and combining a turbocharged engine with a CVT is a better idea than trying to get some oomph out of a normally aspirated motor with CVT. Soundproofing is poor. I don't mind the wind noise too much, but I do mind hearing all the traffic around me. Acoustic glass would be a welcome option. Perhaps Nissan could add it before the facelift. Visibility, it's better than in the previous generation, so that's an improvement. Good. In 2022, Qashqai in Europe will be available with the e-powered drivetrain, which is already available in Japan. A 1.5-liter petrol engine acts as a generator and charges the batteries. The batteries then power the electric motor, which then powers the wheels. The European version will have 187 horsepower. Prices of the new Nissan Qashqai start at €25,790. This test car is a Tecna Plus Xtronic front-wheel drive for around €43,000. The new Nissan Qashqai makes a good first impression. If I were looking for a compact crossover today, I'd definitely take it under consideration. And how do you like the new Qashqai? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.